Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make money from a free item or a very cheap item. Hi, my name is Jonathan Lehman. I'm in the top 1,000 digital marketers in the entire world, and I make these videos to help ramp up your marketing. So I came across a company the other day called Kukui, and I thought their business model was very interesting. They don't really supply necessarily the best service, but I thought their pricing was very interesting. So most marketing companies, they tend to charge anywhere from $1,000 on the low end to maybe $10,000 on the high end, maybe $1,500 as an average for most people like you and me. But they had a very interesting pricing model that was around the $400 a month mark. So I thought to myself, how are they able to charge $400 a month, which is absolutely crazy, unless they're giving you no good service. Now, although a portion of that may be a little bit true, that the quality may be lacking, I still think the pricing is very interesting. So what they do is they offer a CRM platform, they offer a credit processor, and they also offer like very extremely basic marketing for companies. And we're going to go into each of those individually. So first they have their CRM platform. The CRM platform, usually on the low end, and portal as well for their clients, is usually low end $100 maximum, as high as a company can usually afford. I'd say maybe $300 this month is a fair price for a portal, maybe $500, around that price range. And their pricing was $400 a month. So they offered a CRM system, which already kind of just makes sense to use your item or service. Now, they use a very cheap custom-made one, but it's the fact that they're not trying to be the best in the space, but they're trying to be the most amount of value for what you're paying for. And I thought that was really interesting on the CRM system. Now, the second way, which is how they actually start to make their money, is on their credit processor. Because they own the CRM system, and just by the way, for the people who don't know what a CRM system is whenever you have a client, how are you going to invoice them? How are you going to send them updates? How are you going to do anything with that client? It stands for Customer Relationship Management System. So if you are now in control of the billing of sending it out to that person, which they now receive a commission on that. So what they ended up doing was they partnered with Stripe or another credit processor. Average credit processing fee online is 3%, where they partnered and they got about 1.5% off their credit processing fee. So what is a credit processing fee? Your average, and they specialize in auto body shops and auto repair shops, pretty much people in the auto industry. Your average auto repair shop does around $100,000 a month in overall gross revenue, okay? So what's 1.5% off of $100,000 a month? That'd be $1,500 a month that they're just making through an affiliate partnership strictly through that. So I thought that was really interesting that they're making $1,500 just to the credit processor. Then comes the third part of their agency model, where they do very lightweight marketing. Now, let me define lightweight marketing for you. They are setting up a landing page. The landing page, they say, is optimized for SEO. Optimized for SEO is can mean a lot of different things, but what they mean by it is that it has just good metadata. Metadata means that they title it the right way, they put the right description in it, and they name all the pictures in it. Very as basic as you can possibly get. And what that does is if they are in a very low saturated area, usually a population of 100,000 or less, that landing page has a higher probability of it working out, or at least giving them some exposure. Now, they also control their Google My Business profile. And their Google My Business profile, they just maybe add in a few keywords there. Nothing more than usually like a setup, and it's probably copy and pasted for them at that point too, considering that they have such a low price point. And I thought that was really interesting. And on top of that, they also own the website. So why is it important to own the website? Because they're charging $400 a month, which means that now once they control your entire website, you can never leave them. And if you can never leave them, then you have just guaranteed a customer until their company fails or until they're willing to spend a lot of money to leave you guys. So they charge $400 a month for pretty much renting out a website at a certain point, because the rest of it's a one-time setup that they have copy and pasted. So if you're renting out a website for about $4,600 a year, you could have gotten a very professional website done, probably much, much better, for $3,000. But now you're in this circle of now needing to rent out your website, which you really don't even own, for as long as your company lives, with nothing else really being done to it. And this is maybe better for a smaller type of business, but most businesses usually don't plan on staying small. They usually plan on growing. And then you end up paying, say if you just stay with them for 2 years, you end up paying almost $10,000 with something that should have cost you $3,000 in the first place. And you could have used that $7,000 in between in your advertising, hiring people, whatever it may be. That $7,000 could have gone a really, really long way. But what's really appealing to people is that's $400 a month for all this, when in reality, you could have just paid someone to build you a good website for $3,000. Or even if you wanted the best of the best, you could have paid $10,000. But now you're having the best of the best versus very, very minimal work. So anyways, the overall point to all this is that I want you guys to consider ways that you can make money, maybe not directly from the front end, but also the back end. Another thing I'd like to point out is that it doesn't have to be this specific space either. I just thought it was really interesting that these guys are turning a client that usually would have been maybe $3,000 into $10,000+. But this can apply towards maybe a social media platform where they collect your data and then they sell off your data. Or it can apply towards, like say, an email verification service. So what is email verification? It usually costs a lot of money to make sure that emails are good emails, maybe the owner of a company, that they still exist, and they cost a lot of money to get verified. So there's a company called Leopathogen. It's very hard to pronounce. It's like Leopathogen. And what happens is they are completely free. Well, how do you afford to be free? It's because they take your email list, they verify it for you, but then they sell your email list to like 100 different people. Now, it depends on what type of industry you're in. If you're in a very high quality industry where your leads are very important to you and you don't want them being saturated and ran out, you may not want to use that type of option. But I think it's really cool how there's all these different ways to make money on the back end without having to necessarily charge your customer on the front end. So anyways, think about the different parts in your industry. Usually credit processing applies to almost every single industry, so that's something that's very replicatable. Think about selling data. Data is very, very valuable. And because it's valuable, you may as well sell it. It's a free source of income. And if you can sell all these different items, which you may not even consider, then you can then lower your price point and then beat out the rest of your competition because you're not the cheapest and you can offer somewhat of a similar service. Now, again, selling data does not work, again, if you are maybe in a sensitive area, such as maybe finance or medical. If you do try to sell data within this category, there's a lot of laws. Don't get yourself in trouble. Only sell data if it makes sense. What does making sense mean? It means you can't get in trouble. Okay, so don't get yourselves in trouble, of course. And anyways, I hope this video helps, and I will see you in the next video.